through some things, and I don't know. I don't know exactly why, but some things really came clear to me yesterday, and that is what we're waking up to. Trump in the last election are symptoms. We think that that is what's driving, but it's not. It's not the reason. It's a symptom, and it's all wrapped up in the collective denial of what is true and real. So what is true and real? Have you noticed that the cowboy, the rugged West, is making a comeback? You see it in television, you see it everywhere. It's making a comeback all of a sudden. Why? And it's coming at the same time our politics are changing. So, which is the chicken and which is the egg? The cowboy, this rugged West, Yellowstone, the TV Yellowstone, or Taylor Sheridan and all of his many 800 shows that seem to be on television, that's not what brought the cowboy back. It's not Kevin Costner on TV grumbling about the land and the legacy. It's not it. It's deeper than that. It's, in some ways, it's that jagged spine of the Grand Tetons. It's the open sweep of the grass that rolls out like God himself just unrolled it and was like, how far can that go? It is the untamed West. But it's not that, because that's a postcard. That's on a TV screen. That's something that nobody in New York sees. It's something that people all over the country have never actually seen themselves. But yet they have that thumping or humming in their chest. And it's something that has been in every American for a very long time. And it has been waiting for us to listen to it. You know, the press, mainstream media, they couldn't figure out Yellowstone at all. Look at those crazy people. They just want that train station to actually exist. It wasn't the vigilante stuff that attracted us to Yellowstone. The bodies dumped in the dark to settle scores, or how Beth acted or what she said. Sure, that played a role. It was entertaining. But that's not what we felt. That was the noise. What got underneath our skin was that there was justice to it. Not vigilante, not perfect, not polished, but there was justice. A line. Somebody was drawing a line in the sand, a common sense line that said, you know what, some things matter too much to let slide. And what were those things? They were heritage. It was family. It was a way of life that's worth planting your feet for. The whole show is about the Duttons losing the ranch. Or is it? Or is it about fighting for something that cannot be left behind? It shouldn't be left behind. Was it the Dutton Ranch, or was it the American way? And not something on a bumper sticker or slogan, but a heartbeat. Something that is deep in all of us. And we feel it. I don't care if you're kicking dust in Wyoming or you're kicking a coffee cup in the streets of New York. It's there. And it's not the hat. It's not the spurs. Those represent this, I guess, because it's the cowboy. And what does the cowboy represent? A handshake that means something. A promise you don't break, because your word is the only thing you own.
Hey guys, I'm here in the Holy Land with Hallow. Now, you've heard me say this 1,000 times before, but you guys have to check out the app. This Lent, we're doing something absolutely incredible. We're kicking off a 40-day prayer challenge leading up to Easter with Father Mike Schmitz, Sister Miriam, Mark Wahlberg, Chris Pratt, and of course, yours truly. Join me.
Is taking your hat off for a woman. It's saying, yes, ma'am. No, sir. Because respect isn't optional. It's standing up. And not just for yourself, but for your family, for your land, your way of life, the things that are worth defending, the things that you have been told for the last 20 years, sit down, shut up, you should be ashamed of that. It's righting wrongs when the law is too slow or too blind to see what's what. Afghanistan withdrawal comes to mind. It's a fierce independence, the kind that says, you know what, I don't have anything against you, but I'm going my own way. I'm going to chart my own path. I'm going to do what others swear that just can't be done. I'm sorry, you think it's too tough? I don't think so. Nothing's too big. Not as long as you have faith in God and the grit of an American, then nothing's too big. That's what the cowboy represents. But it's more than just him. I don't know how to describe it. It's us. It's in all of us. It's who this land shaped us to be. I'm not somebody that would have crossed the Rockies in a creaking wagon. I would have stopped way before that. Snow biting at my hands, Strangely, I am kind of the guy that wouldn't mind being strapped to a rocket and shot up just to stab this red planet of red dust 1,000,000 miles away or however far it is with a flag, and not because the flag. Why do these explorers do what they do? They don't do it for God or country. That's what the left would tell you. It's jingoism. It's not. They don't do it for God and country. They do it because of God and country, because of what God and this country made us. It's simply who we are. It's why the rest of the world never understands us. And yet, when we live up to those ideals, when we live up to what this land and God created with us, when we live up to who we really are, the world loves us. It's what this land does to you. The mountains, the plains, the rivers that cut through stone, they're not just pretty. I don't know about you, but they call to me. They call to all of us. They make you. And when you answer, it's not about proving something to anybody else. It's about proving it to yourself. Because that's what the soul of this country is asking for. Who are you? Who can you be? No other country, no other people can feel it like we do. Because this is our DNA. That's why I go to the mountains every chance I can get. I love my ranch. Not to escape, but to remember to breathe the air that is sharp and clean, cold in the morning, hot during the day, to hear the wind whip the flag. Yellowstone was not big on TV because it was a show. It was big because it's a mirror. It is a funhouse mirror. And everybody else looked at the funhouse part. It's all about what we've been missing. It's what it was showing us. That's what we felt, what we let slip through our fingers because we were too busy chasing other things or listening to other people convince us of lies. And now, look around last 6 weeks. What is America doing? We're putting our boots back on. We're wrapping ourselves in denim that's not afraid to touch grass. In fact, it's required to touch grass. And not because it's trendy, but because it's true. It's who we are deep down. I don't care if you've ever roped cattle. You should see me with my cows. I have no idea what I'm doing. Doesn't matter. You could be punching a clock in Cincinnati. It doesn't matter. But the land, our way of life, our DNA is calling us back. And thank God, we're listening. It is morning in America again. And it comes again under the brim of a cowboy hat. But the guy who's the one who seems to be doing it all, he would look ridiculous in a cowboy hat. Maybe as ridiculous as I look in a cowboy hat. He's a big city real estate broker from New York City that likely has never gone anywhere on horseback or climbed a mountain. But the spirit lives in this guy. His whole life is about doing something no one thought could be done. He didn't climb mountains or conquer the West in the traditional way. Instead, out of concrete and steel, he built mountains that tear at that American sky. He conquered what we all thought was, you can't conquer that. Mainstream media, he broke the back of that horse, and he is riding it, sitting tall in his saddle, and he's also making it very clear to all the outlaws of the world, and I can guarantee you'll go, yes, sir, when you hear this. He's making it very clear, this man from New York City, there is a new sheriff in town. The spirit of the West. All humans feel this call to the ocean. I don't know what it is, but we all do. For Americans, it's the same kind of call, but something different. The West isn't a place, it's a feeling, it's a pull. It's a strange shadow of a horse and a rider against a sunset that bleeds red and gold. It's the creak of leather, the weight of a rifle in your hands when the world turns mean. It's the quiet of a night so quiet you can hear your own thoughts. It's the roar of a river that reminds you some things just can't be tamed, not by man, not by time. And that is what's roaring back.
For the last week, cryptocurrencies have been in a free fall, giving concern to investors
in the
around
world
the
of crypto.
world.
It's the spirit that put us here in the first place. The part of us that says, I'll stand for what's right. I'll fight for the little guy. I'm going to build something worth keeping. And we do, because we always have. From the first people that crossed the oceans to the ones who broke the trails through the mountains, no sane person would ever do that. The dreamers who looked up to the sky and said, I'll go to the moon. And it was never about glory. It was about guts. Knowing that there are some things that are just bigger than you. But you're big enough to meet them anyway. Yellowstone is, again, a mirror of us waking up. It was already there. It was simmering. It's always there. The photos of the peaks and the plains and the horses, they're not just pictures. They are us. It's the sound of that snap of a flag in the wind. It's the weight of a life lived on your terms, and it is not dead. It is not gone. It is rising again. Because the truth is, it never really left us. You'll feel it wherever you are. You'll hear it in the stories we tell, the songs we sing, the way we look at the world and go, why can't people do it? We'll take it on. You're living in an American era again. We are truly going to see the rebirth of a nation. Not in the boardrooms or the ballots, but first and foremost in the dirt, in the sky, in the soul. It's about a cowboy, an American cowboy coming home. Not because he's lost, because finally he remembered where he belongs. And we're all riding along with him, whether we know it or not. Because no matter what the popular culture tells us, this is really who we are. We're fierce, we're honorable, we're free, we're unbroken. The sun just dipped down low and the shadows were stretching long. But thank God America heard it whispering again, come back home.